You know, we just tried to make it as an advantage as best we can because we kept huddling. So yeah, we took it as an advantage. We can't control it, so it's out of our hands.
This game was supposed to be simple. Late season stakes, loud building, winner gets momentum. Instead, time itself went sideways. The arena clocks froze. Minutes stretched into uncertainty. Players tried to stay warm. Fans shifted from hype to disbelief. And through the noise, one team found calm and started landing haymakers from deep. The Golden State Valkyries didn't just beat the Indiana Fever, they turned a messy night into a statement. If you think the story ends with a final score, you're missing what really changed.
Yeah, it just makes it awkward for whoever wants to be awkward, really. You know what I mean? Like, we couldn't control what happened today. And
It began as a blip hours before tip, the kind of arena hiccup nobody worries about until it refuses to go away. By warm-ups, the timing system still flickered. At tip, the shot clock stalled, then sputtered again. Play stopped. Officials circled the scorer's table. Fans shifted from bouncing to baffled. Temporary baseline timers rolled in like emergency gear, and suddenly a professional game felt improvised. Long delays turned legs heavy and minds noisy. Coaches preach poise, but poise is hard when minutes stretch like rubber.
To like when people were getting frustrated because they couldn't get their smoke and layups, but I think possibly because they kept stopping. So it was hard on their legs to kind of just finish, I felt like. Just
on the floor, players jogged in place, stretched calves, and traded gallows humor. The building pulsed between groans and nervous cheers. Social feeds lit up. Every extra second risked cooling shooters and inviting overthinking. That's where most teams crack. Passes slow, closeouts lag, the first possession back is junk. Golden State refused the script. They huddled, breathed, and treated each restart like a fresh tip. No panic about rhythm. No complaints to waste energy. Just problem solving.
Threw in some new stuff today, just off the fly. So it was really cool that, again, the players trust us. Like when
the horn returned to life, the Valkyries stepped into space with intent. Clean entries, early drag screens, skip passes punched on time. The weirdness didn't rattle them, it revealed them, and the next few minutes would prove it. Once play truly resumed, Golden State used simplicity to break the game open. One more pass, one more sprint into space. It started with a drag screen in semi-transition, a kick to the wing, and a clean release that popped the crowd. The ball hopped side to side, the Fever's help sank an inch too deep, and the Valkyries punished every late closeout. 9 of the first 10 threes dropped. That isn't luck, it's geometry. Deep threats stretched the floor to the corners, the roller dragged help into the paint, and the skip pass kept landing on laces. Iliana Rupert lived at the arc like it was home. Trail threes, pick and pop rhythm. 21 points built on fearless timing. The barrage did more than build a lead. It rewired Indiana's coverage. Protect the rim, open the corners, chase the shooters, invite slips and cuts. On each possession, Golden State made the Fever choose between two bad options, and hesitation did the rest. Missed shots at one end became quick pitches ahead at the other. The scoreboard didn't gallop, it loped steadily.
10 times fold. I mean, talk about tough coverage. She is fast, and that was something we weren't used to. So you could just see her coming off staggers, coming off pin downs, and our players are just like, oh my gosh. Like
possession by possession until the gap felt stubborn. Momentum doesn't always roar. Sometimes it taps, then knocks the door off. Indiana's offense felt different from the opening touch, and not in a good way. Without that gravity piece who bends defenses before the dribble, spacing shrank by inches that matter, helped defenders shaded one step closer to the lane. Passing windows narrowed. The first action rarely produced daylight, which meant the second and third actions had to be sharper than usual. That's a heavy ask when the game already felt stop-start and jittery. You could see it in the body language. Hesitations at the slot, extra dribbles along the wing, cutters peeking over a shoulder instead of slicing into empty space. The Fever still had playmakers, they just didn't have a compass. Possessions that normally hum turned into debates. Who initiates, who commands late clock, who draws to and feeds the release valve? When answers arrive half a beat late, defenses smell it and pounce. Golden State did. Loading elbows, tagging rollers, daring long twos. Indiana tried toggling options, more post touches, more handoffs, deeper pickups to steal rhythm. The shots weren't terrible, they were contested enough to matter. And when makes don't fall, transition defense gets stressed, legs get heavier, and trust thins. That's the cost of missing your organizer. It isn't just fewer points, it's fewer easy ones. It's fewer clean reads, it's the drip of doubt that creeps in when the game turns weird. Indiana fought it, they always do, but fighting the scheme and the night at the same time is a double tax. The question became who would pay it and who might break even in the chaos next.
That type of stuff we can't control. So with that, they didn't throw off no rhythm at all, nothing like that. Like I said, some things that we can't control.
Individual battles told the story when structure frayed. Aerial powers brought instant force, carving lanes with her shoulders and turning slivers of space into straight-line drives. Pull-ups at the elbows steadied Indiana when possessions shook. Kelsey Mitchell's first step kept tilting defenders. She shifted off ball, curled, and fired in rhythm. Natasha Howard went to the mid-post, absorbed contact, found soft spots, and kicked to shooters when a second defender shaded over. That trio kept the fever within reach while the game felt rickety, solving one possession at a time. Golden State had counters waiting. Iliana Rupert's confidence from deep never blinked. Every make reset the crowd, and Indiana's coverage math, Kate Martin relocated. Drifting to seams, the instant help turned its head. Role players piled quiet wins, fronting the glass, tipping 50-50s, turning long rebounds into quick numbers. Scramble moments stretched small leads into cushions. 2 became 4, then 7, then a margin that forced the fever to chase. It wasn't pretty. It was durable. The Valkyries stacked edges until they felt heavy. Indiana punched back, but each run met an answer. An extra pass, a late clock jumper, a clean inbound. In the fog, composure scored most, and Golden State owned it. A sellout doesn't just make noise, it changes decisions. From pregame buzz to the final horn, the Chase Center crowd acted like a metronome, keeping the Valkyries on tempo while the night tried to drag. That matters for a first-year franchise. Expansion teams usually sell curiosity. This one sells belief.
A part of it was our defense. No excuses with the shot clock. No matter what, they had to play against it too. It wasn't just on us. So no excuses there. We just had some defensive mishaps for sure.
The brand already feels lived in. Colors people wear, a logo in group chats, a tone that threads style with grit. When the clocks failed, the building didn't empty. It co-authored the response chants, laughter, a roar each time a temp clock flickered back. That patience gave players room to breathe and then to pounce. It starts with trust. Natalie Nakase's calm translates. Veterans mirror it. Young players adopt it. The effect is a feedback loop. Preparation breeds poise, poise feeds production, production brings people back. Game ops polish helps too. Music that fits the moment, timeouts, a club that knows its audience. Put that environment under stress and you learn what's real. On this night, it held firm. Crowds don't make shots, but they bend probability. Noise nudges a closeout, rattles a dribble, lifts tired legs for a defensive stand. That's culture in motion. As the standings tighten, edge becomes a weapon. Standings don't care about excuses, they care about wins, margins, and tiebreakers hiding in footnotes. For Indiana, this one nudged everything the wrong way. Drop a road game, slip a seed, and suddenly your first-round draw has longer arms and a meaner defense. That's the math. The softer math hid in stoppages. A 90-minute half steals rhythm, chills shooters, and inflates fatigue. Rotations drift. A coach burns sets early to keep minds engaged. By the third quarter, legs speak louder than huddles. Closeouts land a beat late, screens feel heavier, and reads blur. The Fever's calculus got messy. Do you change coverage to chase shooters or protect the lane and pray variance cools? Do you press to generate tempo or keep bodies fresh for the final 5? Each micro decision carried a tax miss. Miss a box out and it becomes 3 free points. Overhelp on a drive and a corner. 3 cracks the scheme. Delay warps timing. Timing warps trust. Golden State managed the variables. They simplified the menu, stayed decisive, hunted clean catch and shoots, and refused cheap fouls. Indiana wrestled with whether to speed up or slow down. That hesitation cost swing possessions. String them together and the margin hardens for good. Zoom out and this weird night slots into a larger picture. Expansion used to mean patience, now it means pressure. Golden State has turned novelty into noise and noise into leverage. Tickets sold, segments aired, storylines minted live. That shapes the league's center of gravity. Markets with energy become magnets. Players notice. Sponsors notice. The schedule starts to tilt toward moments. On the competitive side, the ripple runs through award debates and playoff math. A rookie head coach steadying a first-year roster against adversity reframes what valuable looks like. A defense that communicates through chaos sets a postseason floor. Meanwhile, injuries across contenders keep reshuffling the board, testing depth charts, and forcing front offices to bet on development over splash. Teams that win the hidden minutes, the awkward stretches after reviews, the dead balls following delays often win series. This night was a tutorial. Most importantly, the audience is different. Younger, louder, and online during stoppages, not just after the buzzer. Clipped plays trend. Bench reactions become micro memes. A clock malfunction can spark more conversation than a routine blowout. If you're building a league, you want sticky nights, episodes people rehash, share, and argue about. Golden State versus Indiana gave the W exactly that. The schedule won't slow down just because the clocks did. The Valkyries leave this night with receipts and a checklist. Expect opponents to run shooters off the line, jump the skip pass, and switch early to smother rhythm. Golden State's counter is simple. Punish switches with slips, cut behind ball-watching wings, and let the roller be a passer. Keep the paint honest, and the arc reopens. Rotationally, they'll keep toggling between size and speed, closing with whoever defends without fouling and keeps the ball hopping. If Rupert draws top billing on the scouting report, secondary shooters must stay greedy. Don't wait for the ball, relocate, and demand it. Indiana's path is narrower but clear. Win the possession game, glass, turnovers, free throws. Shrink the court by getting back, then force late clock decisions. When the offense stalls, live in two-man actions that guarantee a read. Powers as a driver, Mitchell as a mover, Howard as the pressure valve. If the star returns, reintegration should be bite-sized. First touches as a decoy, then pick and rolls with pace, then late game control. If not, the committee model has to get bolder. More cuts, fewer dribbles, cleaner spacing. Either way, every seed line matters, every tiebreaker lurks. And the next close game will ask the same question: who handles weird better? On a night when the machinery quit, we learned whose heartbeat never did. Golden State didn't just shoot hot, they stayed brave in a setting designed to spook them. That's bigger than one scoreboard, it's culture, revealed under fluorescent light. Indiana didn't fold, they wrestled the moment and kept swinging. But the absence at the center of their map forced them to navigate by instinct. And instinct can wobble when the environment turns surreal. That's the quiet lesson buried inside the chaos. Identity is a stabilizer. When timing slips and plans tear, the team with sharper edges keeps shape. Zoom out and the league wins too. People remember strange nights. They share them, argue them, trace them like constellations across a season. Expansion doesn't feel experimental anymore. It feels inevitable. More cities, more noise, more stories that refuse to sit still. If you love the W, this is the good kind of wildfire. So file this one away. Maybe it becomes the origin story of a first-year playoff run. Maybe it's the pivot that forced Indiana to reimagine itself under pressure. Either way, the message is simple. Order is fragile, and opportunity loves a crack. When the clock wavers, character keeps time.